There once was a woman named Alice who married a man named David. They were a happy couple and loved each other dearly, but there was one person in their lives who always seemed to be on the sidelines: David's mother, a mysterious and reserved woman who hoped to talk about her life or her family. Alice found it odd that her mother-in-law never shared anything about herself, but David always reassured her that it was just her personality. However, the more Alice tried to get closer to her mother-in-law, the more distant she seemed to get. One day, Alice found an old box while helping her mother-in-law clean the house. Inside, there were old photos, letters, and other personal objects that the mother-in-law had kept over the years. Alice was surprised to see that there were pictures of her mother-in-law when she was young, with other people who appeared to be members of her family. Intrigued, Alice began asking her mother-in-law questions about the photos and the people in them. The mother-in-law looked uncomfortable, but Alice didn't give up and continued to ask questions. Eventually, the mother-in-law relented and revealed that she had run away from home when she was young because of a dark secret her family was keeping hidden. The mother-in-law explained that her father had committed a terrible crime and that her family had covered it up to avoid shame. The mother-in-law was afraid to talk about it with anyone, because she was afraid that the truth would come out and destroy her life. Alice was shocked by the story and thanked her mother-in-law for tempting her. She heard that the mysterious mother-in-law had a very big secret that kept her away from the rest of the family and the world. But at the same time, Alice felt sorry for her and understood why she was so secretive. From that moment on, Alice made an effort to get closer to her mother-in-law, and their relationship began to improve. Although the mother-in-law's dark secret was never fully revealed, Alice felt that the mother-in-law was a complex person with many feelings and stories to be told. And, instead of judging her for her mysteriousness, Alice decided to accept her as she was, secrets and all. As the years pass, Alice feels that her mother-in-law is still carrying the weight of the secret she had shared. She could see the pain in her eyes and the way she was distant at times, as if she were reliving dark moments from the past. Alice tried to help her mother-in-law deal with her feelings and open up more about her life, but it was a slow and delicate process. At times, the mother-in-law seemed more open and talkative, while at other times she would become closed off again, as if she was afraid of revealing too much. Even so, Alice continues to get close to her mother-in-law and show that she cared for her. They try to spend more time together, doing activities like cooking, playing cards, or just talking about life. During one of these conversations, the mother-in-law experienced another part of her story, that she had moved to another city when she was young, to start her life over and leave the past behind. She had built a new family, but she had never felt completely at home anywhere. Alice listened carefully and heard that, despite the secret her mother-in-law kept, she was a directional and resilient woman who had overcome many challenges in her life. Over time, the mother-in-law began to open up more and more, and Alice was able to see the real person behind the mysterious facade. She was a kind, intelligent, and loving woman who cared deeply for her family, even if she sometimes found it difficult to show it. In the end, Alice felt that her mother-in-law was not just someone with a dark secret, but someone who had many traditions and stories to tell. And she felt grateful to have had the chance to get to know her better and to share a special bond with her. Over the years, the relationship between Alice and her mother-in-law continues to grow stronger. They became close friends and confidants, and finally felt comfortable sharing more about their lives and feelings. Alice realized that her mother-in-law had gone through a lot of hard times in her life, but that she had also found a lot to be grateful for. She had raised a loving family and had many close friends who would support her. One day, the mother-in-law suddenly fell ill and had to be hospitalized. Alice and David rushed to the hospital to be by her side as she underwent tests and treatments. During this period, Alice heard how attached she had become to her mother-in-law and how much she felt for her. She was grateful for having had the chance to get to know her better over the years and regretted not doing more to help her deal with the weight of her secret. Fortunately, the mother-in-law made a full recovery and returned home a few days later. But the experience left a deep mark on Alice, who decided to be more attentive and loving to the people around her. In the following years, the mother-in-law continues to be an important presence in Alice and David's lives. They visited her often, helped with the housework, and spent time together doing simple things like watching TV or drinking tea. Ultimately, the mother-in-law passed away peacefully in her sleep, surrounded by the love of her family. Alice and David were devastated, but also grateful for the time they had with her and the chance to learn about her story. They organized a simple and beautiful funeral in honor of their mother-in-law, inviting friends and family to celebrate her life. During the ceremony, Alice spoke about the importance of connecting with people and showing them love and compassion, even when they are secretive or seemingly mysterious. She said that she had learned a lot from her mother-in-law over the years and that she hoped to honor her memory by being a more compassionate and supportive person in the future. And so, the story of the mysterious mother-in-law came to an end, leaving an indelible mark on Alice and David's lives and inspiring them to live more fully and with more love. Share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, leave your like. Every week we have new stories here to be part of your day and for you to travel in your imagination.